What's going on, everyone? So, Mason Gooding has returned to Scream 7. He's been filming with Celeste. So, Chad Meeks has returned to this Scream movie, as I'm sure many of you have been aware. But a big question has been like, okay, well, what about his sister? What about Jasmine Savoy Brown? She kind of like bamboozled everybody, right? Like, said that she had a big announcement coming. Everyone was all excited. It was like literally like the day after Mason announced. And to her credit, she knew what she was doing, right? So I can't be mad at her. Can't knock the hustle, right? And she had an announcement. The announcement came out, and it was to her new like news site thing, then her new project that she's working on. And again, like I said, she knew what she was doing, but to her credit, way to capitalize on the moment, right? You have all these people that are just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with Jasmine Savoy Brown. Well, we got to filming and stuff and nothing, right? And it was just kind of disappointing. It was like, man, so we're going to have Chad, but no Mindy. And it's like, I know some people are kind of hot and cold on Mindy Meeks, but it was like, hey, it'd be nice to have the twins in this film. Well, guess what? We got her. Jasmine Savoy Brown is officially signed on for the upcoming Scream 7. Mindy has returned. And I am really excited about this. Now, obviously, I'm really excited about this. We got the announcement from Variety that Jasmine Savoy Brown is back. And it was an exclusive report through Variety. So she is returning. Like I said, I know she's really kind of hit or miss with characters. I'm honestly not a huge fan of Mindy as a character. I just think that they really haven't done a great job of developing. I mean, even Chad, right? Like, I just feel like they haven't done a great job of developing the core four characters, right? That's my opinion. I think character development in Scream 5 and 6 was very underwhelming, very disappointed. I've talked heavily about that. But my thought process was like, if you're going to have one twin, you got to have them both, right? You got to have the Meeks twins in it, right? So if you're going to have Mason, you got to bring back Jasmine. And now that we got her back, I am excited for it. But I'm also more excited because Kevin Williamson's at the helm. And my hope is that we finally get some real development as far as Mindy and Chad go. Again, we've had 2 films with them, and we don't, like, who are they? Who is Mindy outside of just, like, the sometimes obnoxious movie obsessed, like, just spews out random dialogue, right? And gives, like, random speeches about movies, right? Like, who is she as a character? Right? Like, I'd like some building, some foundation. Like, look at Randy, right? Like, that's who this character sort of emulates, her Uncle Randy, right? But Randy had depth, there was purpose, there was point. Like, you knew what he was and who he was. And yes, he was this, like, movie obsessed nerd, but he also was, the popular kid and hung out, and he had that love obsession of Sidney Prescott and followed her even to Windsor and all that. So, like, you just go down the list. There was real depth to his character. Where it's like Mindy, it's like, okay, well, like, what does she do besides just, like, again, like, spewing out random horror movies, right? And have, like, that dialogue, the Randy, like, the rules to the film, right? Like, and, so I'm hopeful that we get to learn who she is and, like, what are her goals? What are her hobbies? Like, how is she as a character, right? She's kind of just been this, like, almost, I get she's supposed to be a little abrasive. I get that but it's just, I understand why people don't like her as a character, right? And, Jasmine Savoy Brown, she is great, but, the character, like I said, of Mindy, I'm just not a fan of either because of the lack of development. I feel like she's just there at times just to kind of be there, and, like, if she died in Scream 6, would anyone have cared? Right? Like, Randy died and this was like pre-internet. Randy died and people lost their minds. Like, literally. So much so they thought about bringing him back. And by the way, that was like one of Wes Craven's, like, sole rules is, like, you don't bring somebody back that died, right? Like, and yet he was willing to do it for Randy in Scream 3 because, again, the outrage and outpour, right? So, look, I'm excited to have the Meeks twins in this film, and I really want to see them kind of serve more purpose, serve more point, right? Obviously, they're not the main characters. They're not the main focus. I don't expect them to be all of a sudden the main characters or the main focus by any stretch. Obviously, it's going to be centered around Sydney and Gail and Sydney's family, fine. They just hired Sydney's husband, replacing Mark Kincaid, or Patrick Dempsey, right? So I I get that they're going to be kind of these, background supporting characters once again. That's fine. But so was Tatum, right? So was, like I said, Randy, right? So was several of these characters throughout the history of Scream. And they've done a good job of building and growing those characters. And so my hope is that they kind of get back to that with Mindy and Chad, and we get some just good quality storytelling of them, and kind of learn, why are they wherever they're at, right? Are they all in New York? Are they all in, are they both the opening scene kill? Are they secretly the killers because they both keep getting attacked and they're sick of it, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of ways that they can go about this and approach this, right? Have they been kind of radicalized by, the Dreadit thread and stuff, and they keep getting attacked because of Ghostface, and it's like, because of Sydney, Ghostface started, right? Like, what is it? There's a million ways that you go about it. I mean, like, you could easily connect Mindy to being the killer. I mean, Mindy in Scream 5 got stabbed in, the shoulder, and just, passed out, and just happened to wake up at the exact moment when everything was over, right? And then, same thing with Scream 5. Like, she gets stabbed, but she doesn't get stabbed enough to, actually die. Like, she's able to, kind of feels like what Belly and Stu were trying to do to, right? Like, you could argue it and justify it if you really wanted to, right? So, it's just things to keep in mind. But, again, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. How does this go? Get, Jasmine Savoy Brown returning as Mindy Meeks. Now we got the Meeks Twins officially in this film, and hopefully come in and do a fantastic job. I'm really looking forward to it. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? I feel, what are your thoughts? Are you excited? Do you think, this is great. Got the Meeks Twins officially back. Mindy Meeks is back. This film's going to really do a great job. Or do you think, we'll see. We'll see how our character is. Do you agree that, you want to see better development of her character, or are you okay with the way that they've gone about it and the way that they've approached it? What do you want to see from their characters as far as character development and just growth? Do you want them to be the killers? Do you not want them to be the killers? What do you want one of them to be the killer? Maybe the other one isn't. That could be kind of cool. And then at the end, you have a twin versus twin. Why do you think that they left the core four to go help Sydney? Is it just Sam and Tara? How do they explain it? Think that they go Sam and Tara went on a trip and went away, after the events of Scream 6? Or, do you think that, no, do they even need really an explanation? Or do you really care? Is it just kind of just wherever they are, maybe they're just visiting and just decided to hang out and chill. Wonder, is this going to be in Woodsboro again? Interesting kind of thought. Or, take place partly in Woodsboro. There's a lot of ways that they can go about this, a lot of directions in which they can go, and we'll see. Time will definitely tell. But overall, I'm glad she's back. As long as they do right by her character, right? Start growing her character, start building her character. But however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, either way, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.